Okay, so the last episode that I posted was not about a book, it was about a publisher. And I got one comment from someone that said, "Hey, I really like this and I'd love to see more stuff from publishing." And then coincidentally, about 20 minutes later, um, it turned out we could record this episode tonight. So I was like, oh, I'm going to give this one person what they want and do another episode about publishing. Me and Chris and Mitch had been talking about doing a podcast episode together for a week or two. But, you know, the timing worked out. So we're recording it tonight. So whoever that guy was who was like, hey, do more of this, you inspired me to kind of push it to tonight. That being said, this episode is primarily going to be about Rapture publishing. And in order to talk about that, I have Rapture's creator, owner, publisher, editor, almost everything, Mitch Hull on the call. And then also Rapture's almost 100% artist, Chris Panatier. So thank you both for joining me for this episode.
Love you, Rob.
Love you, Rob.
Oh, I love you guys too.
Yeah, man.
I've only known you for a few minutes, but I can tell I love you.
The love is strong. The love is very present in this online room that we have.
So present.
And then, so selfishly, I know that Mitch and Chris know that, you know, I really enjoy the work that they do. And before we actually hit record, I cajoled them into showing me a bunch of stuff that we can't talk about and talking about some things we can't talk about. So selfishly, I've already had the best conversation I could hope for. Everything else that happens past this is it's just a bonus. So
you're going to be phoning it in now. You're like, you know what? I got what I wanted. We'll just kind of sit here.
Yeah. So like, you know, the really hard hitting journalistic questions like, what made you want to be a writer? Are going to be flowing out of me tonight.
Ooh, are they though? We can skip those.
No. But I think we do have to do a little bit of, I think for the sake of the people who don't know Rapture, the right way to start this conversation. And really that's who we want. We want people who either don't know or know of and want to learn more. A little bit of history, a little bit of understanding of like how this whole thing came to be, because Mitch, you're not from a publishing background, I don't think.
No, I'm not.
So what's the start? What made you inspired to do something like Rapture, to get it started? And then I'll interrogate you more about where you're at now.
Well, that's a great question. And I'll answer that for Mitch.
Yes. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. He began by publishing beer. And then you go ahead, Mitch, from there.
Yeah. I did publish beer first. Beer is kind of my first love other than Chris. No, it's funny. So I
think that makes me number 3.
You are number 3 in the call right now, but hey, things could change. You know,
by the end.
Yeah.
Work up the list.
Once we're a few beers deep, you know, have been talking for about 5 hours. Anything can happen. So it's kind of funny that you had Alan on from Shortwave the episode before this, because, you know, publishing, and I'm not trying to compare us, but we did have similar starts. So I actually, I started a record label with a couple buddies of mine. Funnily enough, John and Hank were their names.
Get
and then
out of here.
But one day they just ghosted me and they started something with another guy. And I never heard from them again.
Was that guy's name Alan?
And apparently his name was Alan. And I just found that out this morning whenever I was listening to your episode. No, I'm just kidding. That was just a stupid joke. I have been reading for a long time. Obviously, reading has always been a big passion of mine. I'm a big hobby person. Like if I get into something, I go hard in the paint. Sometimes a little too hard. But like for example, beer. I started homebrewing when I was 22. I just loved the science behind it. I loved beer and just figuring out how to like the whole process from A to B, A to Z. And then I brew full time as my job. it's just so much fun. I mean, it sucks a lot at the same time, but if you've ever brewed beer, you know that it's not all fun and games. Most of it is terrible, but you do get to drink what you create at the end, and that's kind of the best part about it. And getting to share that with people is really special. So it's kind of a similar thing with books. I never thought that I would get into it to the degree that I currently am. But around it was around whenever my son was born, my first kid was born. I got more into the collectible side of things. I love Stephen King, and I started like looking into the Cemetery Dance books. And then I found some YouTube channels that would talk about those collector's editions, the deluxe editions. And I fell in love with that because I've always been a big fan of art. Love art of all kinds. And I didn't realize that book art could be that cool. And so I started buying a ton of books. I mean, if you look in my office / closet, you'll see that I have a lot of like Thunderstorm, Suntup, Levidian, Earthling, all those books that, you know, they really pay attention to the production of it all and the art and everything. And I think that's what drew me to collector's editions the most. This is very long-winded. I apologize. But that's kind of like how I got started in falling in love with the collectible side of things. I mean, I've always loved the words, and then they become pieces of art. And I think that's what is the most exciting thing for me, is getting to work with somebody like Chris. You know, whenever Chris and I met via Tyler Jones, we just kind of hit it off, and we really saw eye to eye in our visions. Because originally, and I mean, do you want me to just like tell the whole story?
Keep
Rapture,
it going, dude.
Okay.
Keep going.
I'm riveted. This is good stuff. Keep it coming. Good content.
Oh, it's good. Okay, good. So I'm good buddies with an author named Philip Fracassi, and I became good buddies with him through the collecting world. He was on an episode of this YouTube channel called The Jeff Word, and I really loved what he had to say. It was before a book called Boys in the Valley came out from Earthling, because before it was a Tor Nightfire book, it was an Earthling book. And I bought that book right away because I love everything Earthling puts out. If anybody's listening to this and has not heard of Earthling Publications, you have to look them up. They do incredible stuff. And they're kind of my inspiration behind Rapture, even though they focus more on like novels and novellas and stuff. So I heard Philip on this podcast. I hadn't read Boys in the Valley yet because it wasn't out yet, but he was talking about his other books, and they were short stories. And so I reached out to Philip, and he sent me some signed copies, read them, and fell in love. And he became like, he is now my favorite author other than Chris. And so one day I started the Fracassi Freaks group with a couple buddies, which is a fan group on Facebook, and Philip got a big kick out of that. And then now Philip and I talk all the time. We've worked on a bunch of different projects together, which is always really, really fun to do. But I wanted to throw a convention / festival thing for Philip, because he had a new book coming out called The Third Rule of Time Travel. And we wanted to do like a celebration, and all of us in the Fracassi Freaks group are really tight knit. Like there's a big group of us that just talk all the time and have fun together talking about Fracassi books and horror in general. So I started planning an event in Tulsa, which is where I'm from, called Fracassi Fest 24. And one of the things that I wanted to do was, with every ticket, give a little chapbook. I had never published anything before. I just love short stories, and I love chapbooks. And I was like, you know what? I'm sure I could like throw something together in Microsoft Word. Philip will do it. He'll have fun, and then I'll give it away to people at the festival, and they'll get a big kick out of it. So then I started. This is whenever like my love for this side of things kind of took off, because I had done some proofreading and editing. I help Paul Miller at Earthing with proofreading and stuff, and I've helped Levidian as well.
Cool.
And so I love that side of things, like picking out errors and touching things up here and there. And so working on a story that was written specifically for something that I was putting out was just such a joy. I didn't know Chris at the time, so I had my artist that does all my beer labels do the art for it. And my brewery that I own is called Rapture Brewing. And I only have one good name in me. So I just went ahead and did Rapture Publishing, kind of tied them together. And for that event, the Fracassi Fest event, I put out a book called The Witch Tree. And I also had a beer called The Witch Tree as well. And it was like using the same label, which was really cool. So he did the art for that, and it was really cool. I love the art. Funnily enough, Chris, I don't know if you've really seen that art, but it's like, it's got like a frame on it as well.
I've seen
which
it.
is just so funny. But because all the Rapture numbered editions have frames on them. Chris he created this like, well, we can get into all that later. But so anyways, The Witch Tree came out. I had a lot of fun. Tyler Jones is another good friend of mine. And whenever I was working on The Witch Tree, Tyler and I were talking, and I was like, man, this is really fun. Like putting this together. It's a challenge for me. I've never done it before. I'm already like picking out things that I could do better next time. But the fact that I was thinking about it next time, I didn't really have anybody lined up. And so I asked Tyler, like, hey, would you ever be interested in doing something? And he said, yeah, of course. He's like the nicest dude ever. Other than Chris. And so he didn't give me, I bought Carved in Salt from him, and we were talking about it. And he was like, I was thinking about putting this out myself, and I have this artist in mind who's super talented. Like, would you mind if we kind of talk to him and see if he'd be interested in doing it? And at the time I was like, well, I kind of have my artist already. Okay. He did The Witch Tree. I'm just going to probably continue to do that, but I'll give this Chris guy a shot. We'll see what he's got. And as soon as we got on the call with Chris, I was like, yeah, this is my guy. And so ever since that day, I knew that I wanted to work with Chris on everything, because he's just, the way he talks about his art and our rapport, we just clicked right away. And yeah, we just have a really great working relationship, and we're in love.
Yeah, there you go. The end.
The end. Sorry, I talked for a very long time.
No,
that's sip of a beverage.
So I'm going to tell you, because I'm assuming you've never hosted a podcast. I learned this very early on interviewing people. The less I talk, the better the episode is. The whole goal is like, I'm here because people want to hear what you have to say. So Sweet. The less I talk, we're probably in a good place. Now I selfishly want to show you, like, so the Boys in the Valley limited edition through Earthling, that is a pivotal moment, I believe, for Philip, because I believe the story is Sadie Hartman, Mother Horror, had been hyping up the Earthling edition of Boys in the Valley, and Stephen King said, I got to read this, and then read it, and then that's how Stephen King started talking about Philip Fracassi. That had to be like a career kind of pivot moment for him, where all of a sudden he's getting more attention. So that specific Earthling release really did kind of change his career. You're Absolutely. Friends with him, so like you probably know better, but like that's my understanding.
Dude, we were I was messaging with him when that happened. He was on vacation and like skiing in the mountains or something. And so he didn't have good reception. And all of a sudden we just start blowing him up. He's like, what is happening? What's going on? We're like, look at Twitter. I love it. And then, yeah. I mean, the rest is history. That's how he got his deal with Tor. And it's just amazing. That tweet really changed his career. But that book, I mean, it's a phenomenal book.
It's so
it's
good.
One of my favorite books.
Well, and now, of course, his second Tor book is a USA Today bestseller.
Yeah. I'm so happy for him. It's really exciting. Have you ever had Philip on an episode, Rob?
We talked for Boys in the Valley when it was released by Nightfire. Yeah. So
sweet.
That was one of my earlier. I think it was one of my earlier episodes for Arc Party. As we were talking off air, I've been doing this since 2011. I've got old ass awards. Yeah, I did talk to Philip. I really like him a lot.
He's a great dude.
And I would love to talk to him more. But I have to have different people on. I can't just have the same like couple people all the time. So I'm trying to like, diversify a little bit.
Well, we'll have our weekly show after this.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Just as it'll be a Patreon thing.
Obviously.
Yeah.
The
for
Rapture,
the Patreon.
the Rapture party.
Rapture.
Oh shit.
Okay. Yeah. That has to happen.
What?
Yeah.
The best ideas come from jokes. As Chris and I know.
I'm telling you, but that sounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Before I have Chris tell his side of the story, which if anybody wants to go back and hear when we did the episode about Death on the Swayback, Chris talked a lot about kind of how you got connected with each other. But I'll have Chris do that. But first, I have to do like a collectible brag because you like that kind of stuff, and I was like, oh, immediately one thing came to mind. As like a limited release thing that I got that is just fucking priceless. Can I show you?
Yes, of course.
All right, so we're gonna do a little. I'm getting up off of my chair.
Nerds.
This is what I'm here for.
I knew exactly where it was on the shelf.
Hell yeah!
And it's not even like in anything protective. It's just like sitting out on the shelf. So I'm being a little bit arrogant.
I love it.
Does this look familiar?
Oh my God. Sorry, you were a little pixelated, so I missed it. Dude, what the hell?
So this is the Elvis Room by Stephen Graham Jones. This was originally released by This Is Horror.
What in the world?
This came out in 2014. They made 100 copies of this.
Holy
100, shit. Right? And are you ready for the best part?
What number is that?
One.
Is that number one?
Oh, it's number one.
Wow.
This cost me $8 and shipping.
Shut up, dude. That is I'm a big Stephen Graham Jones fan.
That's amazing.
This is, without question, probably the rarest, like, real Stephen Graham Jones publication that exists.
Absolutely.
And I've got number 1 out of 100.
That's sick.
I've got a couple very rare Stephen Graham Jones things. I might have to go grab two just to show you.
We'll do a little show and tell.
If we're going to talk about some collecting stuff, I'm going to go grab it really quick. These two, here, you'll be able to hear me.
I'm just enjoying watching you two fucking nerds talk about this stuff.
Out.
So, do you have this book?
If you have Elvis Room number 93, I'm going to fucking murder you.
I did.
That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be number 93.
That'd be insane.
No, Nolan Ducati is one of the ones I do not have, and that is you bitch. You
okay? Hold on. You want to see something insane? Okay, so this one I got signed by him. Okay, it's personalized, so I'm not going to give you this one. And he said, "This is the white rhino of all my stuff."
100%. That is
so. But this is the craziest part, and I've reached out to him about this. They're two different editions.
Oh wow!
And he only ever knew that they did one.
Whoa!
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Subterfuge.
I know, and so one of them I think was printed later because if you look at if you look at this on the back here, it says 2013.
Oh,
okay, and this came out in 2008.
Yeah.
And then this doesn't even have a date on it, so I think this was the first printing. So I have two of them, and I have to keep both, or else I would give you one because they're
I was going to say
printings.
Like we could do a little Stephen Graham Jones exchange. I've got some stuff on the shelf that we could talk about, but
we can talk about Stephen Graham Jones after this. So he comes to Tulsa. He used to come. He came like 3 years in a row, and so I got to talk to him 3 times. As you put it. But I love Stephen Graham Jones. He's awesome. I assume you get all the SST stuff.
No, but buddy, I'm poor. I have the.
I mean, I am too. I have all these books. I'm poor.
I know. I've got the Demon Theory one.
That one's so sick.
But yeah, I don't. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Dude.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like so the things that I have are stuff that were like I have contemporaneous releases. So like I got that Elvis room because I bought it when it was released, and I was like, oh, I want
Yeah.
to support my friend at This Is Horror. I'll buy his book, not knowing that 15 years later, different story.
Crazy,
Like or
dude.
10 years later. Not all of this will probably make it in, but I've got like It Came from Del Rio and
Yeah.
2 copies of All the Beautiful Sinners. I've got the hardcover Demon Theory. I've got a bunch of the old stuff.
Oh, so you have like the OG Demon Theory too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've
That's
got I've got both Demon
I
Theories.
don't have that one.
Yep. I've got States of Grace, the original release of States of
See,
Grace.
that's one of the ones I do not have either.
Yep. I've only got one. Otherwise, we'd help each other out.
Ugh, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Get
Yeah,
another
I
one.
know.
I will say I got both of these for less than $12 each.
That's the best brag when you don't
Oh man. Just
like spend a
crazy.
paycheck on it. That's
I
the
got them
brag.
both on thrift books. Yeah.
I got teased by Chris is like, do I get to talk?
I'm good. You guys just carry on. Carry on.
Here, okay, I'll do this is my other little brag. So I've got a few Mallermans, a few like special like I've got the inspection one that was made with like the slipcase, and I've got
That one's
Daphne.
awesome.
I went and spent a weekend at Josh's house.
Oh, nice.
Those are the first episodes of Arc Party I ever listened to.
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome.
So like I'm sleeping. He put an air mattress in the office, like where he writes, and so I'm sleeping in his office with my head against the trunk where he keeps all of his manuscripts, as like his original
God.
like drafts. And one day he's just like, "Oh, do you have this one? Oh, do you have this one?" He started giving me like some of his like publisher copies of like these like limited release things.
Oh my God, that's
So
awesome.
I came home with like a few little treats.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to work with Mallerman. That would be so sick. I've talked to him a few times. But yeah, I've never been able to. He's a tough guy to get a hold of sometimes.
I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't know if I'll leave this in or not, but I figured out Josh because like, I didn't realize before spending a weekend with him, he is constantly moving. He does not
he goes
stop.
1,000,000 miles an hour. Yeah.
He always has something he's working on. In the short like 2 days that I was there, I saw his band practice. He finished a novel. We did a rehearsal for a live performance he was doing, and we like recorded 5 hours of content for my podcast, and we drank like 3 bottles of whiskey. So like that dude does not stop. And so here's how this is the analogy I make. He's like a merry-go-round that's moving, and you're trying to hop on. Like you just got to find that moment. Otherwise,
Philip and he are really close, and he's told me the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Like I remember because I was trying to get Mallerman to come to Fracassi Fest, and he was interested in coming. It would have been so crazy. And he was like, "Yeah, here's my phone number. Just give me a call sometime tomorrow." I was like, "Is there a time frame that works for you?" Like, this is so not. I'm not just gonna like call you. I should have just called him because I I didn't get a time frame. But yeah, he's the nicest dude. But going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you just have to catch him. Okay, right. These are my rare Mallerman. Sorry, just really quick. Yeah. So have you read Ghoul in the Cape?
I own it. I have not.
Okay, it's my favorite Mallerman. That and Goblin.
Do you want to get sad about it really quick? It came out while I had cancer, and I couldn't. I know I brought you down. I couldn't read it because my like brain fog and stuff. I couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's not a book you want to read when you have brain fog. But now that you're better, you got to tackle that beast again. So I have the this arc, paperback arc.
Look at you.
And I also have this insanely rare arc that nobody even knows about.
Well, I mean, I saw that at Josh's house, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
And
it was signed 11/23/21.
Oh wow, cool!
How cool is that?
Hey.
And also, I was part of this little podcast thing that Josh was on, and they made these prints, and there are 34 of them.
Wow!
I got number 13.
That's pretty
Okay, your
special.
turn to flex.
Pretty special. No, we have to talk about Rapture. We have to
I'm sorry.
we're just
Okay,
burning
now we can
time.
start recording again.
No, now I'm going to look at my shelf again because now I'm like feeling competitive.
I know. We're just
Oh.
measuring our dicks right now.
No,
I don't have shit.
I know you're like the least collector I've ever met.
Dude, you
He
make
didn't.
it.
He like barely even wanted one of those tins.
I did take
like,
one. I did take
yeah.
one only so I could do like some talking about it online. Like I'll probably end up giving it away at some point.
To me.
Man.
No, you have no, because you know what Mitch has. So Rob. So Mitch. First of all, Mitch is a psychopath, and when I sent him the manuscript after I had revised it, and he just like sends it off and has an arc made and printed and sends it to me with one of the chapbooks that I had to like sign. And I think, right, it was in there.
Yeah.
And
I think, it was with like the 6 sheets for I can't remember what it was.
Probably
it might have been Meat Ship.
No, it wasn't. No, it was fitted sheet, I think.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
But he sends it, and it's like it looks like the one you have, only it's a previous version. And I start reading it, and of course, because it's in a different format, I'm like, oh shit, I would change that. And I was like, all right, dude. I go, before you print these, I need 5 days. And I went through. I read the entire book, making pencil changes in the entire book, and then I transferred those to the manuscript. Sent him the new manuscript to print the arc you have, and then I mailed him the arc he had printed, the one arc he had printed with all my changes in it.
The write-ups, yeah.
You know, so he's got the marked up one. I don't know him shit. And after that,
that's true. I'm gonna put that in a museum. That is a piece of history. I would grab it, but it's in a secret box.
Oh,
I don't want anybody to know where that one is. Yeah.
Back to Rapture. We went on this ridiculous and I'm going to say very restrained tangent about collectible things because I didn't. Well, you can look at my reels, Mitch, because I recently posted what my arc of disappearance at Devil's Rock.
I saw that. That was cool. That was
Yep.
wild.
Yeah. Yep. That's what happens when you
the Kinko's bound copy, right?
Yeah, that's what happens when you badger people at the publisher until they're like, I'm just going to do this to get them off my back.
I'll just print it really quick. And I saw Paul commented on that. It's so cool.
Yeah. He's so good. He's so good.
Your episodes with him. Your episodes with him are some of my favorites. So
I love that dude.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
All right. We went on a little tangent, and I just went on a little tangent about the tangent.
I love it.
But I want to dive deeper into Rapture, and so maybe I'll cut the tangent to the end so that we have more of a cohesive narrative here. But I love indulging like these little geeky things.
You have a lot of editing, yeah.
I'm an excellent. I can edit. Like if you say the same thing twice, I can cut the middle of a word and no one will ever know. I can stitch together in the middle of a word and no one will ever know. All right, so we talked about Mitch, kind of like the origin of Rapture and how it got started and everything. You got to the point where you were talking about connecting with Chris. Chris, I know you've talked about your kind of intro to and you're in with Rapture as well, but maybe we can talk about that a little bit again, kind of pick up where Mitch left off and go from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the cool thing is that genuine sort of exchanges, becoming friends with people in the horror community is just this jewel of the thing. And I made friends with, or I met Clay McLeod Chapman at AuthorCon in 2023. I didn't know anybody. I knew Gemma Amore. That was who I knew. She is a label mate of mine at Angry Robot, and she at AuthorCon, she was the only person I knew, literally in the whole room. And I went around the room. She introduced me, and I spent some time, like 20 minutes, talking to Clay McLeod Chapman. Didn't know him at all. Had heard him on Talking Scared, and was just like, hey, I loved your interview about ghost eaters, and that was so cool. And I haven't read any of your stuff. Which one is the scariest? Which one should I read? And he was like, Ghost Eaters, probably. So I ended up buying it and like walking off and just feeling really light in my shoes. Like I was super happy. I met like, a really well-known author who was like so nice to me, like talked to me for 20 minutes. Didn't have to do that. I just couldn't believe it, and of course he if you've ever had a conversation with Clay, which you have,
Yeah.
Clay doesn't want to talk about himself. Clay wants to know about you. And he's probably the worst interview ever, right? I'm joking. I'm joking.
He is fucking terrible.
He doesn't want to talk about himself, right? And so he, of course, asked me if I wrote, and I said, yeah, I've got a book coming out in a year, and I just, it's horror, and I'm just trying to meet people and just understand this community. And he comes up to me in the hallway. I'm like I was working on Shit Show, actually, which is funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And he just comes up and he like slaps my knee. He goes, hey, man, I emailed Neil over at Talking Scared and told him about your book, and he might DM you. And of course he did. And it went from there where, I start to make friends. I go to StokerCon, and then I see Clay there. And Clay is like, he goes, I stalked you in your Instagram, and I saw that you do all this art, and what are your rates for like doing, a commission? Because I want to commission something maybe for What Kind of Mother. And we're in the Librarian's Day at Stoker, and I have a arc of What Kind of Mother in my hand. And, or no, had I already read it? I don't remember if I'd already read it then, but anyway, so I told him, I was like, well, I charge this much, yada, yada. And then like we go our separate ways. He proceeds to blurb The Redemption of Morgan Bright. He's so nice. And then, so one day I was like, fuck charging him. I'm just going to draw him a picture that is inspired by What Kind of Mother. And so I draw this like crab baby, which you might think that that's like kind of gross, but if you actually see it, it's this very tender picture. I was trying to capture this tenderness from the book that he captured so well. And I just sent it to him. And then he like goes on TikTok and he's showing it and all this stuff. And that very same day is the day that I get a DM from Tyler Jones, who like, hey, would you consider doing a cover? I got this chapbook coming out, and that started the whole thing. So Clay is like patient zero for like a lot of Chris's career, as far as like branching out into the horror world and then ending up getting married to Mitch here.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's really what happened. And then I think we did Carved in Salt, and then I don't remember. I think Mitch and I started talking on the phone about kind of the philosophy of kind of going forward with Rapture. Like, hey, do you want to do something that's uniform, right? And he kind of floated the idea of me doing more art, and then I was like, well, let's talk about maybe like making these things kind of similar and distinct from chapbook to chapbook. And we even had the conversation about like how to number them.
Yeah.
And like, so on the back, I think it says RA, right? And then the number.
Yep.
And what has been so cool from that point on is, yes, Mitch is the publisher and I'm the artist, but we share a lot of conversation about strategy and like who we should talk to and who we'd like to bring in and what new authors we'd like to, try to go after and invite to try to, diversify and maybe give people an introduction to some people they haven't seen while also giving them the people we know they want,
Right.
And it's just like this beautiful, partnership. Even though I'm his employee, like he can fire me at any time.
Yeah. I tell you what to do.
Yeah, he tells me what to do. Contractor, employee. And so it's just gone from there, and it's kind of something that, because I'm a realist and also was raised Catholic and can't enjoy things, I have told Mitch, I'm like, at some point you'll want to pivot to another artist because you want to change up the look and all of this stuff. And he promises me he'll never do that. But
I was like, you shut your mouth, Chris.
Shut your dirty mouth. But I think that's how art goes. And to the extent that we continue to do this, I'm super excited to do it. And whenever it comes to an end, however it comes to an end, it will be such a cool run to have put together, for this stretch. And then, when I find out who the new artist is, at whatever point that is, I'll make sure to get their address and, I'll take
the door.
I'll just take care of what I got to take care of.
Send him a basket of poison muffins. What?
Yeah. No, I would never do it like that. That's too easily traceable.
I was hoping that the reference would not be lost.
No.
First of all, that's fucking bleak. Like if you could have made the partnership sound more bleak, I'd be surprised, because you're like, eventually this beautiful thing will end. I will be sad and alone, like locked in my own closet.
The funny thing about Chris is he says he's a realist. I am like the biggest optimist you'll ever meet. You can ask my wife. And I think that's why Chris and I work so well together, because he's like, I'm a realist, which really just means pessimist. And I am the biggest optimist. And I'm like, dude, I love everything. I'm a little puppy dog. And, but I also have a bite. Okay. So don't cross me or my Chrissy. All right.
My Chrissy. I love it.
Well, fuck, that makes me think maybe someone has crossed you or your Chrissy.
Not yet, but I'm warning anyone out there.
This is a warning. The reason we did this podcast was to issue a warning.
If there's an artist out there saying, oh, Chris is leaving the door open for somebody to come in and take over. No, that door is shut.
No.
That door is shut. It would be, Chris is too busy for me. And he's just getting these big gigs with these metal bands, and he just wants to do these album arts. That's what it would be. And I would say, hey, let's just keep doing books, bro.
Well,
we'll see.
Well, you heard it here first. I'm never being fired. So we turn on the sunshine. Well, turn on the fucking sunshine.
Turn on the sunshine, baby.
I'm thinking that you need to stick around at least until issue 93, where the big secret twist.
Oh, bro.
The big secret twist is that it's my story on issue 93. I write a story.
Yeah, you'll have to write the intro.
Let's go.
For issue 93.
Yeah.
Write the intro for your own story.
Yeah.
It's been me this whole time.
Yeah. I love that. And I think that the thing that I want to illustrate is that, and this came up with Chris when I was talking to him about his collaboration with you, and my impression of Rapture was when I first got. So Chris did a thing where he's like, "Hey, there's just a few of these, copies left of my Death on This Way Back, and you can, he did a reel about that, and I watched that, and I was like, I'm in love with Chris. I'm going to order his thing, So I ordered it, and it came to me, and I'm going to show you the one this is the one I got later, which is the lettered edition. The actual numbered one is up on the shelf here behind me. But I got it, and I opened it up, and my immediate thought was like, the person who's doing this cares about how this looks. They care about the presentation. They care about the layout. And so immediately, I was talking with Alan about Shortwave and his presentation, like the packaging that he does and things like that. And that is a first impression moment for me. And for you, Mitch, the first impression moment for me was I opened that chapbook. Which chapbooks you think? Chapbooks, you think zines, you think like someone's photocopying things and stapling it in like a little plastic table in their garage. Not what's going on with Rapture. It's obvious that you cared about the materials, you cared about the layout, you cared about the presentation, the art. You put a lot of thought into something that most people would think this is a quick and easy thing. So Can you talk about like where that comes from? Like what made you want to go almost like,
Anal.
boutique with it.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not just art in one way, it's art kind of in all of the aspects of presentation. So
Yeah.
where did that come from?
I think that stems from my collecting, like my obsession with collecting
Yeah.
books. Um, and what I was trying to like fit myself in was a niche that I didn't think existed. Yes,
Yeah.
chapbooks exist. People love like the cheap $6 chapbook, right? I love those. I buy them all the time. And then people love their like deluxe $150 special editions. Like what is in between? Yes, they have like the $65 deluxe like that Chris and I are putting out with Daytide. But there's nothing in like the lower tier that is capturing that dollar amount that's not trade releases and stuff
Yeah.
like Shortwave puts out beautiful books, and they're around the same price as one of my chapbooks, but they're different. They're not handmade. They're printed um, through like a print on demand thing. Like all my books are made by hand.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of what I was going for, was a price point that doesn't shut the reader out or shut the buyer out, that are signed and limited. Um, and yes, the numbered edition is stapled, but there's so much care put into the product. And that's
Hmm.
why, it is $25. I'm not saying it's, super cheap or anything, but it is a lot cheaper than some of the other books out there. And it scratches that collectible limited itch that I have. And now that I have 2 children, I can't spend that kind of money. So I kind of created Rapture for me. Like if somebody started Rapture and was like putting out these chapbooks for $25, I would buy every single one of them, because I just think they're
Yeah.
so cool. And they always have interior art, just like throughout the entire book. The page number illustration was something that came, whenever we were talking about Tyler's book. And I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if I had like a hanging bottle and we had the page number in there. And I think I said that to Chris, and he was like, "You're gonna put that on every page?" I was like, "Why not?" you know, and like so originally, what my first thought of with those hanging bottles was do it for the section breaks or the chapters in that book, and I was just gonna have one bottle for chapter 1, 2 bottles for chapter 2, and so on. But it kind of evolved into, what if I could do it in a really cool way, to be on every page, and the page number just fits right in there, and it makes sense for the story itself. And we've just continued that tradition, and I think that's something that helps Rapture stand out from any other chapbook that you see on the market today, and just books in general. But yeah, that's kind of
Let me jump in and also add that, not only does Mitch not cut corners, but Mitch is in the uh, awful habit of going, "Oh, it'd be cool," and then always doing it,
yeah, it's very
right?
true.
Like,
It kills my
and then,
margins.
dude, and then he'll
Yeah.
email me and he'll be like, it'd be cool if we did blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, you're a psycho, I hate it, but you're also right. And so like I'll give you an example. Like, so it's also bled over into the art. So we have a deal, which is a cover and 2 interior illustrations,
Yeah.
but it never works out that way, as
No.
you've seen, Rob, because like I'll give you a great example, which is like for RJ Joseph's, which is coming out. There is, and I won't say what it is, but
Yeah.
I did all these illustrations, and then I was like, oh my god, there's one I have to put at the end, which when people get the final thing, they'll see
Yeah.
it.
It's not in
and
the
and,
art.
and it required a lot more work, hours more work to do this thing. But I was like, oh, if I don't do it, I'll regret it because it's badass.
Yeah.
And so Mitch does that to himself, and I also do it to myself for
Yeah.
these chapbooks. And we did it to the nth degree with Daytide, which I'm
Bro.
sure we'll talk about. But we are stupid people, is the
We are.
point. But it is a labor of love, and it's so like whatever we deliver to people is like the most artistically flatulent product that they could possibly get. They're getting a great story, and they're getting a shitload of art, and they're getting amazing craftsmanship.
Yep.
And I've said it a million times. The guy puts fucking dust jackets on chapbooks. Like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
Those are the lettereds. Those are the lettereds.
Still though,
I will say those lettered editions, they are hand marbled paper with engraved labels, and so this is my problem. Whenever you're talking about how I have a problem with saying like, oh, but what if we did this, and it kills my margin, because whenever I first thought of those dust jackets, I was like, oh, it would be cool to have a dust jacket. And then I said, this is how much they're going to cost to the people buying the dust jackets.
Yep.
And then I started thinking about it more, and I totally jumped the gun, because now my margin is very slim on those lettereds, because I also, I'm too honest of a person, and I just feel like if I told somebody one thing, I need to honor that, right? That's just how I work as a business person. Because those dust jackets are very expensive. Now I'm using hand marble paper from Spain, and from an artist in Brazil.
What the fuck?
So the artist in Brazil the papers he makes are out of control. And I'm not going to say his name because I don't want anybody else to find him and use it.
Smart.
Yeah.
Like everybody already knows I use Chris, and the cat's out of the bag on that. So I got to keep my other guys in my back pocket. So I'm buying these hand marbled papers. Like, they are not printed. These are made. Each one is different. They're all works of art, which is what I think is so cool about those lettered edition chapbooks. And yes, they're dust jackets on a effing chapbook. Sorry, I was going to say the F word. I'm going to try and hold off. We're recording a podcast.
You can. Yeah. I've said worse.
Well, just in case my wife is watching, freaking dust jacket.
So,
yeah.
While you're talking, I'm just gonna for the people who are watching on YouTube. So this is Meat Chip. This is what Meat Chip looks like with the hand marbled dust jacket.
Yep.
But to really understand, like, it's a dust jacket. Like,
it's a straight up dust jacket. Yeah.
It wraps around the cover.
Yeah. And each lettered edition is different from numbered edition, because with the lettereds, or with the numbereds, there's a frame for the art. And for the lettereds, it's a full image.
Full top to bottom.
Which is just so cool. And that happened, I mean, kind of organically with Tyler Jones's. Chris sent me two different versions of the art. One was with the frame, one was blown out. And I was like, dude, I can't choose one or the other. Let's just do both. And then it just became a thing, like with every book that we did. Oh, yep.
The Meat Chip control panel. Famous.
It's so cool. Yeah, something like new that we did that cost me more money, and I didn't charge anything extra, was the colored lettered edition SIG sheets. So yeah, like that is my problem. Like Chris said, I have these new things that come up that I want to do, and I'm already kind of stuck with the price points that I've given people, and I don't want to go back on that because I gave them my word. And yeah, so those dust jackets are gorgeous. The like texture on them is just unbelievable. You can't beat it. Because I've bought a lot of deluxe edition books that have printed end sheets that look like marbled paper, but they're printed. They have a design and they print it to make it look like they're hand marbled. But I can't do that for my stuff. I'm too pretentious,
So
and then the labels happen. My God, it's ridiculous.
The takeaway here is it is, so you created Premium Chapbooks. It's not a thing that existed before. Premium Chapbooks,
not to my knowledge,
is a category that grew out of basically your obsession with like greatness.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and I'm just gonna say the people that get these from you, like they'll pay more. It's worth it. Like
Yeah.
the value you're kind of like you're giving way more value than you're getting in money, and I think that easily people would pay more for these things.
Yeah. They probably would. And what's funny is whenever I first was talking about this, I have like a brain trust of people, and I brought them these ideas, and I talked about the dust jackets, and they were like, a dust jacket on a chapbook? It sounds so silly. I was like, I know, but they could be so cool.
When Mitch started sending me pictures of the dust jackets, I didn't know he was actually serious. And I thought he was just kind of fucking around, because sometimes he'll send stuff like, he's like, I'm thinking about doing this, or like, what about this? And we've already labeled me a pessimist, but I will be like, hey man, that's great for you, man. Like that's so nice that you're thinking about doing that. And then all of a sudden I start seeing them and I'm like, oh, he did that.
Yeah, I did that.
So,
yeah.
But here's the thing, like, you're kind of like, you're like a junkie selling to a junkie, because here's
Yes.
the person,
Yeah,
the person who's going to go for that is the collector. So like, when presented with the option of, so first of all, so like the first conversation that me and Chris had about Rapture, he was like, oh, and by the way, there's this like secret group of people who get the lettered editions, which are even nicer.
Yeah.
And I was like, tell me more.
Excuse me? What was that?
I need to know more about this. And
I couldn't tell him because I wasn't
Chris
privy.
had no idea.
I wasn't privy to the club.
Chris doesn't get the lettered editions.
No,
he does.
I don't get anything. I get nothing. He sends me a photograph of one.
Chris is number 92.
I have. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on.
Oh, little show and tell again.
Yeah, here we go. Oh yes.
Check this out. That Mitch made for me.
Oh yeah, Mitch, you showed me a picture of this, I think. Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's got it's got all the ones that have the dust jackets on it. Carved in Salt and Death on the Swayback did not receive dust jackets.
No.
So just let it be noted for the record that Death on the Swayback is mine. I didn't get a dust jacket. But the rest of it,
how many people have been like, please make dust jackets for Carved in Salt and Death on the Swayback?
Well, just so you can have the complete collection, right?
I'm going. I'm going to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could.
Please charge for it.
But again, it's like it's like a baseball card that is a format they changed, right? But like this box is just like utterly beautiful. It's like it's all fabric bound and everything. And normally it's like I drove home from Tulsa with this thing that he gave me.
It's nicer than the cardboard thing I got off Amazon.
Yes. Yeah. And I can't be like, look, I can't be, I'm so busy. Like I can't be bothered to like set stuff up. But I went and dug out all my books he had given me, and I put them in there, and they're up on my shelf. So it's like, it's a lovely, lovely thing there.
Yeah. So that slipcase. So the slipcases that I'm making are for the lettered people only. So if you buy the numbered books and you are like, I want a slipcase, they take me way too long. I've made like 5 of them, and each one takes me like a weekend.
Oh my
God. I only have so many days in my life.
I mean,
and I have 2 children.
Yeah, they are sick.
So I make them with Japanese cloth, hand marbled papers from this artist in France. And those papers are real expensive, but they're so worth it. Like they just feel amazing. So I will say that paper. The reason why I gave Chris that one is one of 2.
Oh.
There is one other slipcase that looks exactly like that, and it's mine. Of course. But I chose that paper because I did whenever I had Death on the Swayback, I was prototyping dust jackets, and I bought those papers to see what it would look like, because if you've read Death on the Swayback and you look at that paper, it looks like
God, wood grain.
So that's why I did that. And if you look on the inside, yeah, Chris, show the inside.
Check that.
Hand marbled paper on the inside. Nobody does.
That's the meat ship paper.
Who does hand marbled paper on the inside of a slipcase that nobody sees?
Only a true
idiot.
Psychopath.
Deviant.
Yeah,
Just a
total
dumbass.
psychopath.
I have a problem. It's fine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you could have gone to Michael's and gotten some like weird paper with an adhesive back.
Now look. Mitch and I have been to the art store. Okay, we've been to Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby, yeah, together. It was special. We
bought several Live, Laugh, Love plaques.
Yeah. Oh, well, of course. Yeah.
They had all their fall decor. We bought many Thanksgiving pumpkins and like leaves. Yeah, it was very nice.
I think we were talking about how I got onto the secret letter list, which was basically to just like make an episode of the podcast with Chris where I was like, I want this. And then like Mitch eventually was like,
there you go.
If some reason took it seriously, I guess, Rob, I got an opening. Yeah, I don't even know where to go from that. It's such good quality.
Thank you.
Okay, so no, I guess it makes sense because I think the arc for number 8 is out, right?
Correct. Yeah. 8 is Maelstrom. Yeah.
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
So you're pretty, to me,
yes,
you're pretty early in your run of this. Like you obviously hit your stride already and you've got a system and a process and it's going. And you introduce the dust jackets and like, that's a whole thing. In my mind, I'd be like, I'm going to coast on this for a while. I'm just going to let this be the thing. Not what happened here because Chris, when I was talking to him for Shit Show, told me not on the episode, I think, that you guys were working on a novel. And so now, as became famous on social media, the slipcase for Chris's Daytide novel is a fucking turpentine can.
It is.
So you're 8 issues into a premium chapbook series, which you created Premium Chapbookss, and at 8 issues where you by admission already are just doing fucking insane things. You're like, you know what we need to do now? 500 pages and let's stick it in a turpentine can. So let's the thing that
when you put it that way, God, Chris, we're so dumb.
The fucking audacity of the situation. But like, I love the fact that the thing I love about it is that you're like that's the optimism. That's the why not. That's the like, wouldn't this be cool? Therefore, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Seems like that is the driving force of Rapture. And it creates opportunities to do things like, hey, this turpentine can is a dust jacket for our first novel. And it's thematic to the book. So talk, however, between the two of you about how that conversation happened and how did it grow from like, Chris has a book to like, we're doing this weird fucking thing. Like, I want to know why this exists in my house. Really, I want to know why this is here.
Well, how did you, Mitch? How did I first end up sending you Daytide? Did you ask me if I had a novel? I think that's what happened.
I'm trying to think back. So I remember you sent me something and it had like a piece of paper in it.
Oh,
and it had Daytide on it, and I was like, "What is this Daytide? What is this?" You're like, it's an unreleased novel. I've been working on it for a few years, or something. Whatever you said, you're like, "Yeah, we took it on sub. I think it's really special. I think it's the best thing I've ever written." I was like, "I want to read that like now."
Yes. Well, so let me cut you off there because. So I try to reuse my paper. So I have these stacks whenever I would print a novel and read it, not on the screen to try to get a different kind of view of it as I would read it and revise. I have a foot tall stack over here of paper. And every time I need like paper to pack something or to write a quick note or whatever, I'll just grab some of that and shove it in. And so he sends me this photograph of this piece of scrap paper that I've shoved into a package to send back to him. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And it's a page from Daytide.
I have it. It's right up here.
Yeah. It's a page from Daytide from like a draft that's like 4 years old.
Yeah. It's right here. I don't throw things away. I'm a hoarder. I have a problem.
That is so cool. So he was like, what the fuck is it? Yeah, look at that.
Panatier, what is Daytide?
Oh, I love it.
What is
that? And so I was like, and the story of Daytide is that it was the first novel that my agent and I took out on sub, but we took it out on sub in September of 2022, right as the pandemic was kind of like losing steam. And I mean, it's still around, right? But as the big like first punch of it was sort of losing steam.
That's when people were like really like, fuck this pandemic.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone was like done with it, right?
I'm done with wearing a mask.
And so we subbed it, and my agent was, and she still to this day is so enthusiastic about this book. And we took it out, and it got passed pretty quick. And she was like, well, fuck. She was basically like, I think our timing was bad. Basically, it turned out that like pretty much the whole publishing industry was backed up. Now, look, it may have died on sub anyway. I don't know. But she was basically like, look, this timing was bad. What ended up happening was a bunch of the editors were swamped because a bunch of writers had books due that ended up not coming out, not getting turned in. And they were basically like, hey, we can't deal with this shit. Like, we have to get out all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And so she, even in years since, she was like, when those editors move on from those publishers, we're going to resub this book. Like, she's like, we are fucking resubbing this book. And I've always loved that enthusiasm, always believed in it. And it's the strangest fucking thing I've ever written. And then Mitch was
and you wrote a book called Shit Show.
I wrote a book called Shit Show. Yeah.
with tons of heart.
Tons of heart. And Daytide is also a bit of a heart crusher. But when Mitch was like, I really, really think, I think I said it to him, I think he was like 20% through the book, and I started getting texts from him, and he's like, we need to chat. And so we started talking about it. And by the end of it, he was like, we got to figure out a way to put this out. And I was on board from moment one, even though he's one guy in a closet, because
office
closet, cloffice. Okay,
there we go. Much better.
It's a cloffice. We just invented a new word.
I like that.
And I didn't even hesitate.
Can I pause?
Yeah, please.
I'm doing like this paper from France on the things that I'm making, and I'm working out of a fucking closet.
Yeah.
Continue.
And let me go ahead and do a novel now. And I did it.
Dude, this was like way early on in Rapture.
It was. We probably had just put out Evanson's book.
Yeah.
And so it was like the second or third one or whatever. And so, but Mitch had always wanted to do this, and I'll let him talk more about that. But I was like, yes, let's figure out a way to do this for two main reasons. One is I knew I was in good hands, even though Rapture had put out like 3 things total, and it was one person. I was like, no, if you have an opportunity to follow passion, enthusiasm, and attention to detail and attach yourself to that, you do it. And the second reason was that I was like, look, I am not going to be precious about every one of my projects and go, well, maybe someday we will resub Daytide, and we will get it in a big 5 house. Ideas are cheap. Execution is what takes work. And I was like, I'll get wherever I'm going to go in my career. And because I write books constantly, I write quite a lot. And I was like, whatever. This is a really unique opportunity to do something with somebody I really love and respect, and whose work is impeccable. And I was like, and to be the first one, because Rapture is going places. And I was like, to be the first one is a big deal. And so I have not regretted it for 1 second that it's coming out as a limited edition. Not for 1 second. I'm super stoked about it. So that's my side of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
All right,
Yeah,
let's do some more flexes.
yeah, let's flex some more. So, yeah, with Daytide, I really was just looking for something new from Chris. I love his prose. I could gush about Chris all day. He is truly one of my favorite authors, and so to read something that nobody else had really, I mean, a few people have read it, but the first publisher to have read Daytide, it was really exciting for me. And as soon as I started it, I felt like this book is for me. Like it just felt so special, and right up my alley in every single way. And also, I mean, it's a book about angels, and the press is called Rapture Publishing. I mean, can you get any more on the nose?
A little
So
serendipity there, yeah.
it is, yeah. And there was just so many elements in that book that I really gravitated towards. And Chris and we've talked a lot about that book, and it's it's kind of like helped us grow closer as friends as well, because it's opened up different conversations that we could have. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about Daytide is it can open those conversations, and you can have, you could talk about things that you might not have ever talked about with somebody before. And that's what I love about fiction is it opens so many doors and so many different interpretations, and Daytide is chock full of them. And it's so cool. It's one of my favorite books, legitimately. I would put it in my top 5 favorite books I've ever read. And we're working on the final layout, and I've read it twice. I'm already so looking forward to reading it for a third time. And I know I'm going to love it even more, because the second time I read it, I was like picking up on things that I missed, and it's brilliant. It's a brilliant book. I'm so excited to put that out as my first novel. It's daunting. It's terrifying, but my God, Chris has put so much work into this book, into all the art. I mean, there's over 20 illustrations within this book. And that's it. From my first conversation with you, Rob, about what I'm trying to do with Rapture. I want to create a piece of art, and this book is going to be some people's, the best book they own. And like both words and art, just the whole package. It's going to really truly blow people's minds whenever they get a hold of it. And Chris and I talk about this a lot, and it's like what you were saying with the lettered editions that I'm putting out with Rapture. Like, I could charge a lot more for what I'm putting out. I could charge well over $100 for what I'm putting out with Daytide. Just with the amount of art that's in it, the materials that we're putting into it. I mean, it's got a ribbon page marker. It's sewn. It's got head and tail bands. It's high quality cloth, high quality printing, everything. But I have the same philosophy with my deluxe books as I do with the chapbooks, and I want to bring something that people will feel comfortable buying. Like, if people are giving me their money, I want them to be proud of something that they have in their hands. And so with Daytide, I know whenever they get it, they're going to say, how in the world did I spend $65 on this book? This is special. That's what I'm going for. Yeah.
And I'll say candidly that what we did here is really tough to do from an economic standpoint. I don't see Rapture's books. I don't know specifically what it is costing Mitch, but just if you set aside the materials, the construction, all that, just consider the art. So this was one of those times where Mitch was like, "Don't we need a picture of this?" And I'm like, and I'm like, you're right though. You're right. And we had several meetings where he's like, I'd kind of like a picture of this, and wouldn't this be cool? And I was like, oh fuck, but you're right. And I was banging these out. I started drawing the art for this back in March before we even inked a deal. Like I knew it was going to happen. I started drawing. I started with the cover first, and I went from there. And what happened was, because we want it to be perfect, and because also it's my book.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have drawn all the art. I have revised it and revised. I'm always sending new versions to Mitch that are just better and better. And the amount of time, I joked with Mitch, I'm like, dude, I mean, based on my like art fee rate, there's probably $8,000 worth of art in here.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
and if I were to do this for somebody else, they simply wouldn't have the budget for it.
No.
It wouldn't happen. Unless it was a big, a big publisher. Like if you look at the illustrations in The Stand, those are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good, and there's a decent number of them even for like a large size book. But they clearly had the budget for that, right? Like no problem.
You're talking about Bernie Wrightson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure.
And outside of that, you just can't get it for a price that makes sense to the publisher.
And
so this is a unique situation.
Oh yeah, I can speak on like the collector's side of things, like deluxe editions. I've bought books like this before, and they are around the $150 range for the book, not even a slipcase, just the book itself.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think. Like we could charge that much, but I don't want to. I want people to have this book in their hands. And I think people are going to fall in love, because at the end of the day, I want people to actually read this book. Like I said, it's one of my favorite books that I've read. I want people to read it. A lot of times if somebody spends $150 on a book, it's just going to sit there. And I want people to actually, read it.
Yeah. But literally at every point we were just like, what if we did this?
Oh my God, dude. Like it's the thing that's insane is it's still been happening. It just
every
week,
like every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Like something new that we just did like 2 weeks ago that cost another, $100-something bucks. But,
I've lost track. I mean,
bro.
The
slipcases alone.
The slipcases. So originally, turpentine plays a big role in the story, and I was like, I thought I was being so smart and cunning. I go, hey, what if on your website, like you don't say anything, and we just put a picture on there, and I make like a turpentine can, and I draw a label, I design a label, and we have a label on there, and we take a picture of the turpentine can that says Daytide on it, and people will be like, oh, what's that? And maybe they'll order it. And Mitch just goes, why don't we just make the cans and send, he's like, why don't we just send the books in the cans? And I was like, well, obviously that's what we have to do. Yeah. And so like Mitch, that night, Rob, we got online. We're doing a Zoom call like this, and we're looking up places to buy blank canisters in bulk. Okay, which
also, let me stop you right here, Chris. I said we should ship the books in the turpentine cans as a joke, but when I said it, it also was like, but do we do that?
Should we
do that? Is that what we do? So anyways, yes, now continue.
And we were trying to come up with ideas, because we're like, look, we're small. Not a lot of people know of Rapture. It's still growing. How do we get people to want to film themselves with these and put them on social media? And we went through a bunch of ideas. We're like, do we do a little short movie? Lots of people have done that. Mm-hmm. People, they're great. I don't know if they really move books or get attention, but when he joked, we should just ship them in the turpentine. And to be very clear, this is just the arc. The final books are not coming in.
Yeah, only the arc.
Okay.
I've gotten so many messages.
I know. Yeah. Even though on the Rapture website it says the canister is not included with the final book. To be clear, the final book would not fit would not fit.
No, it's too big.
in
No,
a
that thing
canister.
is
It's too big.
560 something pages. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big old boy. And so he is like in this one conversation. I'm on a website finding these canisters. I send it to him. He's looking at it. Then I'm on a website going, how big, if I design the label for that thing, which is a fucking 16x7 sticker.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, can I order a custom label to put on this thing? So then I find
Those
I can.
are the most expensive stickers I've ever seen cost wise.
Yeah.
It wraps
$5 a
around,
piece
yeah.
cost.
Yeah. So I design the stickers. I'm sending them to Mitch. He's like, oh my fucking God. Oh my God. I can't believe this shit. And then I had him send me the book, the ARC, and I had him send me one of the canisters. And then I sat here in my office and I like traced the size of the book. And then I like took the leap of faith and I got a razor blade out.
Yeah.
And I punched it into the side of that thing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like grunting to like cut this aluminum.
Yeah.
And I got through it. I was like, fuck, man, if this thing slips, I'm going to hit my femoral artery. I'm going to bleed out trying to sell this fucking book.
It's dangerous.
And so then we did 40 of them. I drove up to Tulsa. We did those. And then we were like, we got to put something in the lid. And it was Mitch's idea to glue the feather inside the lid. So do you not know about that, Rob?
Oh, Rob doesn't know?
Rob, open the lid. Open the lid.
Unscrew it.
This is like, all right. So this is for like, this is happening live. I didn't open the lid.
Oh, dumb.
Ugh.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, wow.
There you go, man. Is that not the coolest thing ever?
How long did that?
Angel feather.
How long did that take?
A while. I was watching college football and just started gluing all these caps.
Oh my God.
Feathers on there. Yeah.
Okay, so make sure the feather doesn't go into the slipcase portion. It goes, if you look in there, you got to make sure it doesn't go in the slipcase portion.
He's got a short feather. Yeah. I sent him a short feather.
Right,
okay.
Oh, I got a short feather.
So anyway, we were like, we're going to use every part of this thing. Some people are going to get surprised when they unscrew that, and it has, I think it's done a good job. I think there are still people receiving theirs and shouting about it. So it turned out to be a good idea. Oh yeah,
you got a signed one. Yeah,
and you got a signed one.
Yeah, so 15 of them were signed.
Were those the ARC people, your Rapture ARC folk?
They, most of them, yes. Yeah, most of them. I kept one.
Yeah.
And then I kept two for giveaways. But,
I love it. Yeah.
And I've got mine, which I'll eventually do some sort of giveaway or something. But yeah, like literally at every turn, we were like, let's blow this thing out. And what's really funny is a lot of people are like, oh my God, I love this cover. I love it. And I keep having to say, that's not the final cover. That's just the ARC.
Right.
And it is a damn good art cover. Like
it's good.
It's sweet.
I'm pretty happy with it.
I mean, you said that to me for fun. You're like, oh, wouldn't this be a fun arc?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, we have to do that.
Yeah. It's pretty tight.
Good stuff. That's good stuff.
Man. So yeah, and like
this is the best part right here.
Yeah, that boy right there.
Chris in college or whatever.
Yeah. well, and then like we even so Rob, hold on to the book. So go to the very back where the Rapture logo is, like the very last page, and you'll see she's got a pair of wings drawn on her, which she normally doesn't have.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the
Another
attention
little
to detail.
Fun touch.
Yeah.
The attention to detail.
And if you look at if you go to the front of the book, towards the front of the book, and look at the page numbers, see the little halo there?
I do. Yeah.
But then it changes.
Okay. Shh. Easter egg.
Okay, sorry.
Chris.
Sorry, my bad.
Jeez Louise,
I'm just
giving away all the
saying.
Easter eggs.
This is not all the Easter eggs. My bad.
That's beautiful.
I'm waiting for that one person to be like, hey, I noticed this.
Yeah, and it's me. It's me just going, oh, hey, guys. Yeah. But anyway, everything in this thing was done with intention. The final version has some other surprises in it that we're so excited about.
Yeah.
Like again, and I'm not going to give this away at all, but like that were a matter of, we had some problems we were facing, and the solution was better. So like we wanted to do something, we couldn't do it. The solution was better than the thing we initially wanted to do.
That's
that
cool.
happened a number of times in the production of this. So,
And my margins just did this.
oh man, no. There's probably nothing left.
This is a loss leader for you.
Yeah,
but it's okay. It's okay because
look,
it's a passion. It's a passion project.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's we source the labels, the turpentine cans, the mailing the turpentine cans. I mean, Rob, you opened that thing. Mitch is another level of packager. There's like
very anal about how things are sent.
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah, I had to like speed up my video to like make it like less than 3 minutes long because I had to like because it was paper, but then like it was wrapped in bubble wrap
and then more
like,
paper.
More paper. Yep. So it was like a real thought out
that thing.
production. Yeah.
So there may be I'm sure Mitch wants to do more books probably, but there's no fucking way I'm doing this much art for any of those.
No, and I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I'm gonna have.
I just don't have the time for. I mean, I couldn't.
No.
I couldn't do it and do anything else. I've spent. I bet I've spent hundreds of hours on the art for this thing. Hundreds.
Oh yeah, and that's whenever I'll say to Chris like, "Oh, well, I have another guy that he'll do the art," and then Chris will say, "No, he won't." And then he'll do all the art that I want.
Exactly.
It's manipulation. Exactly. It's manipulation out of love.
That's and I know I'm being manipulated, but I allow it.
There's got to be a German word for that when you're like
there is. It's like Farfignugan, but different.
So going back to the idea of the art and like so people who appreciate, and I don't know why, because this isn't like the book that I'm about to show you isn't special in any way, but I love looking at it, and it is a book that's old, and there's something to just like a beautiful presentation where like, and I'll be 100% honest with you. Sometimes I just walk into this room where my bookshelves are, and I just stand and I just look at what's on the shelves.
Yep.
And it makes me feel calm. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel like Chris has like an animal on his desk or something. There's just some joy to being among books. But there's one book that I just love looking at, and it is my copy of Perfume by Patrick Suskind. So
that's pretty.
That's the cover.
Beautiful.
It carries around to the back where it's in another language.
Very cool.
Beautiful. Deckled edges, right?
Yep.
So you get some deckled edges. Check this out. Sprayed edges on the top.
I like that. Centipede style.
So good, right?
Yeah.
And then, so it's got like a city map kind of end papers. It's beautiful. So the attention to details is great so far. This isn't like a special like edition. This is like one of the earlier hardcovers of it or whatever. But then this page, I don't know what it is about this page, just captures my imagination. There's something so beautiful about the way it's framed.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. Really nice.
So I just like opening this up and looking at it. Otherwise, it's unremarkable. It's just a hardcover edition of this book. But those attentions to detail just capture my imagination so well. And like my little sub story about this is I'm at Josh Malerman's house and I'm like looking through his bookshelves and stuff. And I see this fucking book. He's got the same version of Perfume that I do sitting on a shelf. Awesome. And I was like, what are the odds? Because I love looking at this very specific edition of this book. So it was like so gratifying that someone else had that thing too. But this book was published in like 83, 84. It's old. um, it persists because someone cared about the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
Yep.
cared about, in addition to the story that is held in these pages, I want this to be special in
Yeah.
a way. And I feel like that's what you guys are doing with
100%.
Daytide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's, it's like, we have these hilarious conversations about, oh, I found this font. Check out this font. Like I think I need to buy this font. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking buy that font. And,
Dude.
I mean, it's truly hilarious. It's truly hilarious, and it's just like, oh man, look what I got. Look at this change I made to this formatting that just amps it up that much more. And so we literally, like, every possible dial you can turn on this book, we're like, turn it to 11 on
Yeah.
everything we have control over. Let's do it and make this thing special. And I not only do I not regret doing this book with Mitch, but I'm like, I'm so lucky I'm doing this book with Mitch.
Oh, I appreciate that, Chris.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really
man.
kind.
Yeah. It's just a gift. It's awesome because this book is good. And having this book will make people happy. I hope. I think so.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, not to turn it into a sales pitch or anything, but it is limited, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so, what are the details with that?
So it's limited to 350 copies, and it's $65 prior to shipping. With shipping, it's like 77 or something. But yeah, like once that's done, like this book is done until Chris sells it to a big five. We've talked about a few publishers that I think would probably pick it up. But one of those would be like Rapture Trades. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows? But yeah, like once it's sold out, it's done until Chris sells it to somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much there's the with the limiteds, the limited publisher gets time to sell the book,
Yeah.
and then basically after that I could try to sell it somewhere else if I wanted to. But that all remains to be seen. If all that ever happens with Daytide is that it comes out from Rapture, I'll be very happy. So everything else would just be gravy.
So when we eventually do an episode supporting Daytide, the release of Daytide, am I talking to you, Chris, or am I talking to both of you?
I think you'd have to talk to both of us. This
Yeah,
thing is
like-
this thing, but it doesn't exist out in the world without Mitch. And even though I am the brains behind it, Mitch is the face, the very pretty face. And no, I am.
Mitch is blushing now.
I
Everybody,
was trying to joke there and just ended up sounding like a piece of shit. I was trying to make a joke.
I thought you were trying to fuck me.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! We've already seen Mitch's legs. This is really
Yeah, I know.
I'm just showing my body.
Yeah. No. Look. I have no shame about that. But I was making a joke. No, I mean, it is as much his as it is mine, as far as it coming out from Rapture, and it's two people doing art. So
Yeah.
I don't really stand alone on this. With the trades and everything, you thank your editors and the people who are involved to help get it out. But this is Mitch is putting his artistic eye into this thing. The poor guy has had to lay this thing out many times, sometimes because of computer error. So he's got some serious skin in the game as far as the artistic presentation of this book.
Oh yeah, I care way too much, and it's really fucked me over a few times.
Yeah,
but that's okay. It's so gonna be worth it. So gonna be worth it at the end. Yeah.
That leads me into we've talked about the origin. We talked about this kind of stepping into a new arena with publishing novels, a novel. I have another monitor besides the one that I'm looking at you guys on, and the other monitor is my email, and I keep Chris shared an image with me, and I keep looking up at it, and it's just like
Yeah.
I'm like ensorcered by it or whatever, like ensorcelled by it. But
Enraptured by it.
enraptured. That's exactly what I meant. Oh man, we'll
Ad
talk about
wizards.
that.
Ad wizards.
So, but now obviously the next question is the future. So, premium chapbooks, that's your niche. I'm assuming that's full steam ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You could say it's the niche Mitch. The
It's
Mitch niche.
the Mitch
Mitch
niche with the Mitch stitch on the lettered
It
editions.
is. Yes, it
We
is.
haven't
The
even
Mitch
talked about that.
stitch.
The lettered editions are hand sewn, each one.
Oh man, see now you're gonna have to make me get out.
Yeah, it's okay. No,
Take
flex
out
on them, bro.
Death on the Sway Back, and
Yeah.
you'll see some. So, and then Chris explained to me that like you get so detailed about the materials that like you have different ideas about what the actual like
The
stitching
thread
is gonna
choice.
be,
Yeah.
the thread. So I don't know how this is gonna show up on my video, but like
Yeah,
you can
Swayback
see.
had 2 different color threads. You got yellow.
Check this out.
I also did red.
I got red.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
red.
Yep.
Oh wow,
So-
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
You can
worked
see
out
in the
nicely.
center there the yellow thread there.
Yeah.
So cool.
So, wait, what was I asking? I was asking about the future, and you guys derailed me.
Future,
with like,
sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I just forgot.
I'm
that
the
I didn't
fucking
talk about-
podcaster here.
Yeah.
You're just a publisher.
I know. Sorry, I'm just the talent.
We're
It's
not
fine.
doing.
It's
This
fine.
isn't the Rapture party yet.
It will be soon.
It will be because you don't have enough going on. So beautiful presentation. It's gorgeous.
you.
It's such beautiful attention to detail. I'm assuming that the chapbooks are an ongoing project that
Yeah.
you've got planned out in the future. Is
Yeah.
there anything besides chapbooks that is on your plate right now, or besides Daytide, or is it still chapbooks are the main focus?
Chapbooks are the main focus. That's my thing. I love short stories. I love being able to work with the authors that I'm able to work with, because when you're publishing short stories, it's not near as expensive as publishing novels. So
Yeah.
I can work with, some of the best horror authors, like dream people that I want to work with. I mean, I've got nearly 12 authors coming. Yeah, Brian Evanson is one of them. I am obsessed with Brian Evanson. After this, we can compare an Evanson collections. But
I've got stories.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, same. Love Brian, and he has his sequel to Last Days coming out. I think it's next year. And he was like, "Hey," he hit me up. "Hey, would you want to do a beer for Phantom Limb, which is the sequel?" And I was like, "I would love to do a beer for that." So we're gonna do like a limited edition beer for that book. I'm really excited. But I mean, doing short stories, I'm able to work with authors that I would never be able to work with if I was doing novels and novellas and stuff. And I think that's really cool. And it's also giving me an opportunity to showcase authors that don't necessarily get the platform that they would if it was just novels and novellas. So I have probably like 100 people that buy everything that I put out, which is awesome. And I'm so thankful and #blessed to have these people buy all these books. Because
the transmission is breaking up. I can't.
They trust my taste in authors, and I don't take that for granted whatsoever. And so I take this maybe too seriously sometimes, and I talk to Chris about every single story. I mean, I always send him a new story that I get, and I tell him, things if I feel like, this didn't really work, like how can we kind of attack this or have them, edit something or change something. And Chris and I work so well together. And I value his input on everything, even when he's wrong. Just kidding. He's never wrong. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say that can't happen.
No, it doesn't happen. But he's always so, I'm trying to think of the right wording.
Dude wrote a book called Shit Show. You can't be wrong.
He's got a way with words. Okay. um, but his ideas are always so good, and they've really helped shape a lot of the stories that Rapture is putting out. And I've been really fortunate to work with authors that are willing to take criticism, um, and are willing to change their story, even though it's just a short story that's typically around 5,000 words. They're willing to go back and say, you know what, you're right, or or give pushback, which is fine too. But typically, they're really willing to work with the vision that I have for their story and to try to make it any way better that it can. Even though I can't write like they can, but I, Chris and I have good idea. Chris could, but we have good ideas like here and there that we could like help bump up the story and make it better. And I think that Rapture is better because of it, because we really take the time and effort to try and put something out that people will enjoy reading.
Well, and to that point, the the thing that we sort of are looking at with each new story is, this isn't a story that's being published as either part of an anthology or
Right.
in a issue of Lightspeed or The Dark,
Right.
or one of those. If it doesn't quite hit, it's not like the buyer of the book can turn the page to another story.
On to the next one. Yeah.
So it's not like, it's like, okay, that one was kind of a dud. Like, let's see what else is in this issue. Right. And so it's sort of a high risk, high reward thing where we sometimes need to emphasize to the author, hey, like, this might not be the best, venue for this type of story, because we need a story, we need a story. Yeah. And so everybody so far has been really cool when we've had to say, hey, like, this is a little too experimental or whatever. So you either come back with a different story or like adjust it or whatever.
Yeah.
Where they wouldn't have to do that for for a magazine,
for sure,
that has 10 stories or 15 stories.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it. I can't wait for more.
There will be
so many more. I mean, I've got 10 plus authors for 26 already. There's a chance I have like one for every month in 2026.
Do you have an artist for every month?
That's something I need to talk to Chris about.
Yeah, you might want to contact his people.
Yeah. I'll try and get in touch with him after this.
Yeah, his representatives.
Chris is like, hold on, how many?
Yeah.
It takes Chris a really long time to film those videos where he's like changing 3 pixels and then he zooms out and it's the whole photo. So like, I mean, like you gotta give him some,
yeah, I've got
breathing room.
I'll give him a heads up. I give him like a month heads up.
Well, it's funny because the one thing I really like of all the things I like about Mitch, I do like his organization, because there are a lot of people in publishing that are either great editors or have a great eye or are great at marketing or great at communicating, but aren't necessarily super organized. And Mitch is sort of, I'm gonna use this term, the full package.
Oh,
yeah, I am. I'm
gonna cut this out and send my wife. She'll be like, "Who is Chris talking about?"
Yeah,
organized.
What? Yeah. When it comes to something you actually care about,
there
you're very organized, right? I know what this is like.
We're ruining marriages here.
It's hilarious.
Oh my God.
but so like he has a spreadsheet of like, here's the months, here's who's coming. Like over the last several days, I was inundated by all these new stories he's sending me, and I'm like, hey, look, man, I know who's next. That's what I'm That's what I'm drawing for. I will read these when they're up.
Just so you have them.
But it's great because like we are on the same page. Like we know what's coming and we can kind of keep it rolling and keep it organized. So it works well. It's a good partnership. We're both pretty diligent people, and neither of us have flaked on each other. We don't say, oh, we're going to do it by this time, and then it's late. We're pretty respectful of each other's time.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's all about respect. Like, we respect each other a lot. In our time, we know it takes a lot of time to do. Like Chris, like with your art, it takes a lot of time. Same thing with like on my end of things, formatting, shipping, like the fulfillment. It takes a lot of time. So
waiting for the paper to come to Chile and from Chile and stuff like that. Like,
dude, yeah, man, those marbled papers. I do have something worked out with that artist in Brazil, and I'm hoping that I can just use him for all of my releases, but I have to really plan things out. So that comes with the organization and trying to plan the color papers that I'm doing for the lettered edition covers and whatnot. But
seriously,
it's a lot.
The boat from Chile pulls up to his house.
Yeah.
They come in on the Arkansas River.
Yeah.
Right to Tulsa.
I believe it.
Oh my God. So, all right, I'm gonna say we're wrapping this up now because we gotta, take some off the record time to continue flexing on each other.
Obviously,
But
yeah.
You guys have fun with that.
No, I know. Chris is like, I gotta go to sleep, man. I'm a lawyer. But no, I just bringing it all back. Chris brought Rapture onto my radar, and I'm so glad he did because I love the stuff that you're putting out. And
thank you.
I do really believe that like you created something by making premium chapbooks. It's an innovation I haven't seen before. And when I was talking to Alan on Shortwave, he does the chapbooks with like Clay McLeod Chapman and Nat Cassidy.
I have all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're very, again, they're very good and stuff. Yours is orders of magnitude more special, I think, as far as like the way that they're created and the way that they're presented. So really happy to see that you're creating a space, and I think this is a good time for it. I think this is like a time in horror and I guess maybe speculative fiction, wherever you think that you land, that really is supportive of something like this. So I think that you had a great idea at a good time, and I hope that it continues to grow because I think that we need something that traditional publishing isn't making, and even indie publishing isn't making. And so it's very refreshing to see something like this coming out and being such high quality and so consistent and so thoughtful. So my ass kissing is done. Thank you for like the work that I know that you've done, because I think it's so special. And I think that my favorite part of this conversation is how much you guys love and care for for creating this, because if it was like just a grind, that's different, but because it seems like it's something that's special to you, like, and like you draw such like joy from it, that just makes it even better.
It's so worth the grind. It's so worth it. Yeah,
it is. And I think we're both getting better at what we're doing.
for sure. Yeah.
I've always drawn in pen and ink and stuff, but usually, like, for instance, like I do these album covers and they're heavily, they're very liney. Like, I love really pretty lines. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And doing these chapbooks kind of forced me into because I knew they were going to be black and white pen and ink. And they kind of forced me into an area I hadn't really worked in with super high contrast stuff. And, every single one of those is a 6-inch by 10-inch space with that frame that we kind of like to use, where we can put things in the foreground and the background, cut them off, extend them. And I've started to see it in different ways, in ways that I didn't expect, and to utilize the format in really creative ways, the new one by RJ Joseph is probably my favorite cover.
Yeah, for sure.
And it looks great. Both, you'll see it, but it looks great with the frame and the unframed.
Oh, dude,
just looks so cool.
Yeah.
And so we're both just, we continue to just notch up our game, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's some books that, we were planning on doing earlier and they got pushed because of edits or, what have you, delays. And Chris and I were talking about it the other day. I was like, this book, this one in particular, I don't think it would have been as good if we would have done it whenever we were originally going to do it, just because of how we've evolved as, a partnership and Chris's like art style for Rapture, which is, in my opinion, like I look at all of your stuff. You can tell when it's a Rapture project. And that's like my favorite thing about it, is because whenever you and I talked about it, we want people to see a Rapture book and be like, oh, that's Rapture, so that's just so cool to me. And let me gush about Chris for a sec. Like, Chris is genuinely my favorite artist.
Take your time. Go on.
And so
a little bit closer to the mic.
And so getting to work with him. But truly getting to work with him on every single one of these books is just so special for me. And it's just the coolest thing ever. I'll do it again. #blessed. To be working with Chris on these books. I wouldn't want to work with anybody else until a new person comes in and steals my heart. Just kidding.
God.
That would never happen.
Now we all have to do like the Gen Z style, like heart hands thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Have we not done that yet?
No, you guys enjoy doing that. I'm Gen X. I don't participate.
Oh, I just had to add effects using hand gestures. That was
like on like a bunch of these video platforms, like if you do certain things, like you can make balloons pop or fireworks go off or whatever.
That was special. I hope hearts popped up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If hearts pop up, because you guys did the heart thing, that's my cue to exit. It's required by the Gen X contract.
Buddy,
not participate.
I guarantee I'm the oldest person on this call.
No way you are. No way you are. I am.
I just turned 47. There's no way.
I'm 49.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Wow. No. I'm 22.
I'm 49. No, I know I look fresh as fuck, but like I'm 49.
Honestly, I look like the oldest person here, and I'm 35. So, like I have more grays in my beard than both of you combined.
Oh no, bullshit!
I've got the gray hair. Yeah, you've got some gray beard. Yeah,
dude. Okay, so I've got kind of long hair right now.
Okay, you have hair. You have.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's true. I do have hair, but at the same time, it's great. Like it's going up this way.
Yeah.
Next year, whenever we do a State of the Rapture episode, I will be fully gray,
pure silver fox.
It's this hair, these little
your mullet
hairs right here. The mullet is going to be all gray, but it'll be in a mullet, so I'll look.
I'm going to say, wait till you see my chest hair, and then
let's take the shirts off. Are we at taking off territory?
No, we're not. We're not at that.
We'll save that for AuthorCon or stuff, or whatever.
We'll do that live.
The live.
Oh my God!
Rapture party
at the Rapture party. Yeah. So, guys, excellent conversation.
So fun. Thank you, Rob.
Now, selfishly, every time a new Rapture chapbook comes out, we can do this again. Like we can do this whenever we want.
Legit, totally
monthly. Yeah,
totally down.
We'll be so reserve the time, the day and time.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody, go out and pre-order Daytide while you can.
Yes,
because I'm sure that the clock is ticking on that. And sign up for getting them Rapture numbered editions. Try and bribe Mitch into getting on like the special lettered list that I'm on. Whatever you got to do.
Takes a lot. It
takes a lot. You got to know Chris, and then Chris.
You got to start a podcast. Yeah.
You got to start a podcast. If you enter a whole new business you've never done.
So what does that mean? Like 14 years ago, when you were in your early 20s, I was like, I got to start this because one day Mitch is going to make chapbooks.
Like, there's going to be this premium chapbook, dude.
Yeah.
Who's putting dust jackets on.
You'd be like, maybe this will happen.
Maybe. And it was a good gamble because it paid off. So
it did.
Really did. You're a bit of a fortune teller.
I know. Yeah. Rob Stradamus.
Hey,
On that note,
hey now.
yeah, I came up with 2 clever things tonight. Thanks again. I'm gonna say the official thank you. We're gonna call it a night because Chris has started to look more and more tired as like the night.
I got up at 5 today, so I'm
yeah.
wiped.
So, but thank you both so much for what you're doing and for joining me. It was a fantastic conversation. I really appreciate it.
Rob, I love coming
Thank
on,
you,
man.
Rob.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I loved it.